unmute the mics. We are live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's poppin', people? Old Brim here with Mr. Greer.
Hola.
Don't you love when that rhymes? It would get just nice and smooth,
Very
like a
smooth.
baby's behind.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
Like you throw a little powder on it, go poof, and then it just goes woo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get a
sure.
little Ric Flair action, woo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I wonder,
like
you know,
it.
I'm really surprised that Ric Flair hasn't copyrighted the woo. He has to have, right?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. That would be it would be a shame if he didn't.
Yeah, because I feel like I see so many people doing it, and I always wonder, does Ric Flair get a little bit of money every time somebody on something goes woo?
You should have asked him when we were signing with him.
I should
He'd
have.
be like, "So Rick,"
Yeah, I should have.
and he was like, "What you gonna say?"
He just slaps me across the chest.
Truth. Yeah, you don't want to get chopped.
I don't
by
want a Ric
Flair
Flair chop.
Nah, man. I think he was probably light. I never got chopped by Flair, but that would have been fun.
I feel like
all right.
that's an honor in wrestling.
It is an honor, anyways. So listen, everybody, for those of you tuning in now, or if you have not tuned in before, thank you.
Yes.
This is Greer and myself in the Grindhouse Radio, Brimstone. We do Truly Inconsequential every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to hang out with all of you.
Yes.
And because, we enjoy, kind of going at each other
Yeah.
and ripping each other apart on air.
Yeah.
And really arguing the importance of some of the biggest characters in pop culture history, who are not necessarily consequential.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can be a big character in a movie. You can be a famous character in a movie, TV, or anything. But you could also be deemed inconsequential. You could be very famous and everybody knows you, but you could also, be taken out of the movie. And that's what me and Brim are here to argue. We're here to argue whether or not these characters actually make sense or are important to their respective franchises.
Exactly.
And I think we followed up a Chewbacca and Indiana Jones argument with quite a doozy, this one, with Jonah Jameson and Commissioner Gordon.
Truth.
Not JK Simmons. We're not deeming if JK Simmons is consequential because he most clearly is, because he played both of these characters. So
Herb says, "Sup, boys? This one will be tough.
It will be a tough one. We're here for the challenge, Herb. But if you guys are watching on the live, thank you so much. Feel free, please, like, comment, and share these lives. All the interaction on the lives. Let more people see it. Put us through the algorithm so more people can come join these arguments and tell me when I'm wrong, even though I never am. Mary, welcome to the stream.
Although I never am. Wow, Greer. That is like bold right there.
Yeah.
Sup, Mary? Mary, I just want to let you know that you made the show notes in I believe for Live and Uncut this past week. Just so you're aware, you made the cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
we made a song about you.
And I spoke about you last night.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you about that another time. Anyways, what do you call it? So just for everybody who's tuning in, hey, it's JK Simmons, right? I mean, that's what this is called. We're talking about two of the most iconic characters that, he's played over the years. You know, you're talking about JK Simmons has played many iconic characters. But you're talking about, hey, Sandra, how are you? You're talking about two big ones here where I mean, come on, man. Commissioner Gordon and Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
I mean, these are two of the biggest comic book characters in history.
Yeah.
And we're talking Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
So, not only is JK one of those cats that has gone to both sides.
He was double dipping.
He dipped both balls in it. And but he's one that can get away with that. You know? However, now let's put this out there. We're going to be talking about the tale of two J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
And we're going to be arguing Commissioner Gordon from Batman, Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, and regardless, J.K. Simmons laughs all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
However, is either character really consequential? And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that now. What do you call it? Mary, she says, that's awesome. Thanks. You got it. Again, did I say Sandra? Yes, Sandra. What is up, everyone? What is up, Sandra? Thanks for joining.
Welcome to the stream.
Well, hopefully, Sandra, you will be on my side this time and not Greer's. But we'll see. We'll get there.
We'll see what happens.
She's like, no, she's probably a shoo-in. It's probably Kim with the fake name. Like, oh, Greer, you're so right. We love you, Mr. Greer.
And I would like to, just throw this in before we do get into the conversations. I'm going to plug this one more time before we go off. You guys see, I'm wearing a really cool Long Island made T-shirt. There you go. See,
Yes.
we made this. We made this like last year, like right before the lockdown. Actually, if you want any GHR merch, go to the website, go to our shop. All the merch you buy helps support the show, helps support us continuing to do all of our shows. And, it's just really cool to see people walking around in our gear. It is a lot cooler than me doing it. I mean, I look pretty cool in it, but it looks cooler if you're in it.
And take pictures, and we'll repost them.
Exactly, take pictures. We'll repost them on social media, but we just would very much appreciate all the love and support. And thank you guys especially for just being here. Herb says right off the bat, both are consequential. Yes, we understand that they're both important. Like, they're both big mainstays. They're both big people in their respective franchises, but is one more consequential than the other? Do they really matter? Does Jonah Jameson really matter that much to Spider-Man? And does Commissioner Gordon really matter that much to Batman? So which one? Now, first, obviously, our first question is, who do you guys think we should start with? J. Jonah Jameson or Commissioner Gordon? Who do you think is the first one we should be debating on the show today?
Mary says she loves her merch. Herb says no pun intended. Oh hell, bat.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. I know exactly where I'm going. I think we're fine. I think I may not have to play the bad guy on this one, which is pretty great. Herb says Commissioner Gordon. Okay, we can start with Commissioner.
You really want to do Gordon?
Should we do Commissioner Gordon?
Yeah, because I know you're going to swing for the hills on this one.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Mary says of course, now we're split down the middle. Sandra, are you still here? Can you be the deciding factor?
Somebody be the deciding factor.
J. Jonah Jameson or Commissioner Gordon. Who are we going to do first? If not, I wish I had a coin. I could flip a coin. That'd be awesome if he had like a... Okay, Sandra says Commissioner Gordon.
Okay, so we're doing the bats.
So two
first.
for Commissioner Gordon. So I'm going to say, without a shadow of a doubt, Commissioner Gordon is 1,000% consequential to the Batman story.
I disagree.
Now, I'm going to say he's consequential to the Batman story because he is Batman's man on the inside. Like, Batman is a vigilante. More often than not, vigilantes are not. They're frowned upon. You're not supposed to be able to take the law into your own hands.
Wait for this.
Commissioner Gordon is the guy that helps Batman be Batman. He's Batman's man. He's Batman's man on the inside when it comes to the Gotham PD.
Fair enough.
And I would like to say, I know we mentioned him last week. Our wonderful intern Andrew over here did happen to mention that Commissioner Gordon does have his own. He has his own franchise. The man's in Gotham, which does. I know exactly where you're going with this, and I'll let you get there. But it does take place in Gotham. Does take place in the Batman universe. Interacts with all the Batman villains. Commissioner Gordon is consequential to Batman.
Okay, first and foremost, we're discussing Batman. We're not discussing Gotham. Gotham is a separate franchise. It's a separate IP altogether. So just because he's
Bruce Wayne's in it.
Just because he's but Batman's not.
That's fair.
Okay, so what?
At the end he is.
Okay, well, spoiler alert. At the end he is. But what do you call it? At the end of the day, it's about Gotham. It is not about Batman. It is about everything else that's going on in Gotham, as far as I know. So that is far removed. You can't even include that. If your argument needs to stay within the comics and within the movies.
Okay.
That being said, I'm going to use your own argument against you. Batman doesn't need anybody, says Mr. Greer. Batman's smart enough and could beat anybody. So it doesn't mean he doesn't need a man on the inside. Why would Batman, the man of all men, need a man inside? He doesn't care.
Well, because Batman
is the original honey badger. He don't give a damn.
Batman's job becomes a lot easier when he has people within the Gotham PD that could help him out. And I think Commissioner Gordon is that person. Commissioner Gordon is the person that shows that Batman is the shining light to the community and somebody that needs to that Gotham needs.
But how many times has Commissioner Gordon chased after Batman and sent the cops after Batman?
Also, without Commissioner Gordon, there's no Batgirl.
Oh, hold on. Let's read Herb's thing. Gordon has stopped the PD going after Batman throughout his history. He's also sent him after him. He stops him from getting arrested. Hold on. Plus, his daughter becomes a Batgirl, which influences the Bat family. He needs his Robins. He's not alone. But here it is. But Greer says Batman needs no one. Batman is the best detective of all time.
He is.
The best detective of all time.
No.
He needs not anybody else's support.
Batman.
That's what Greer says, not me.
Batman. No, I don't say Batman. I don't necessarily say Batman can do everything by himself. I do because I mean, if we've learned anything while reading comic books and reading all like superhero stories, not all the superheroes can do things on their own. Even Superman needs help from time to time.
Okay.
You know, so I don't want to say that Batman literally can do everything on his own. Batman, of course,
he can't.
Of course, Batman needs help. Batman, of course, there's a reason Batman has a Robin. There's a reason Batman has to work with Commissioner Gordon.
You're changing your tune a little bit.
I'm not changing my
tune.
tune.
Your tune a lot of it.
I am not changing my tune.
If we were talking about Batman in general, you and I go back and forth with Batman all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, Batman is the best. He needs nothing. He could beat Superman by himself. Blah 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 blah. Come on, man. No. You can't have both things.
But no superhero can do it by themselves anyway.
You can't have your bat cake and eat it too, brother.
But
hold on. Somebody just said, hold on. Ernest said, if Batman had superpowers, he would be a beast. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. See, as him being a human kills it for me. But we're not talking about Batman essentially. Herb, the best detective, yes, but he takes in others to help him. But he doesn't. He does, but he doesn't, because he really doesn't care what anybody says except for Alfred. If this argument was about Alfred, that would be a different story. Alfred is absolutely 100% consequential. But you're talking about the guy who, he also, if it wasn't for Commissioner Gordon in the film, I don't remember if it's the same way in the comics, but if it wasn't for Commissioner Gordon, we wouldn't have a Two-Face either. You know what I mean?
True.
He caused trouble. He's trouble, damn it.
Well, wait, how did Commissioner Gordon cause Two-Face?
I don't remember. I'm just like kind of
throwing things at the wall. No, I definitely don't think Commissioner Gordon. If we're going off the Dark Knight, it was the Joker that caused Two-Face. But no, it's but Commissioner Gordon is a very integral person to how Batman goes about his everyday life, because Batman uses everything that he possibly can to his disposal. He uses his ability to be the world's greatest detective, finding information on every single person, but he also uses his people in the Gotham PD.
Why?
Because he needs the Gotham PD.
Why?
The Gotham
if he's
PD
the best
is the
detective.
lifeblood. Because if you're the best detective, you use every resource that you possibly can to get all your information.
See, I'm going to give you credit because you're really good at this, but you are twisting your words.
No, but
you are twisting your words.
No, again,
listen, I love you, Greer. I love you. I
understand that Batman is the world's greatest detective. He's one of the greatest superheroes because he doesn't need superpowers to be a superhero. But that doesn't mean Batman doesn't need other people around him. Batman is the king of using people to benefit himself and benefit what he needs to get done.
Stop throwing me under the bus, Herb. Herb says Gordon didn't cause Two-Face. Yeah. Gordon keeps Batman on point as well. He grounds him. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's more of a, it's like
because you're right. No, who said that? Who said that he grounds him? Because Herb. Batman, while Batman is somebody who he doesn't kill people and stuff like that, he also does need those people to those people to be his conscience to keep him on the right path. Commissioner Gordon is one of those people. Commissioner Gordon is one of those people that keeps him level-headed and keeps him on track. And I would like to say, Herb did mention this in one of his arguments, without Commissioner Gordon, there's no Batgirl.
Who cares about Batgirl? Batgirl's inconsequential.
Batgirl cares about Batgirl. Commissioner Gordon cares about Batgirl. It's his goddamn daughter.
Of course, but who cares? We're not talking about Batgirl.
All the females that like the Bat franchise like Batgirl because it's somebody they can relate to, damn it.
Okay, and then there's Batmite and Batdog and Batcat and Bat Dick. I don't, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is Batgirl it's just inconsequential to this entire conversation. Just because so it's his daughter. So what?
Batgirl's not the argument.
So and the other thing, well, Gwen Stacy is related to somebody else. You know what I mean? Or whatever the deal is.
We're not debating Gwen Stacy's parents.
No, but what I'm saying is
J. Jonah Jameson is not Gwen Stacy's dad.
No, but I think I forgot where there's the relation. I don't remember what's going on with that. It's been a while.
Herb says Batgirl is huge in the Batman mythos.
But again, it doesn't. Does it matter who the father is? It really matters who her father is. She's still Batgirl.
Well, yeah, it absolutely does matter that she's Barbara
with the
Gordon.
Father. Why? Yeah. Why? Tell me why.
Because he's already so engrossed into the story. It's a big deal when you have the commissioner of the Gotham PD. His daughter decides to leave and become a vigilante. Like, it's a big part of the story.
So then,
it's a big part of who Batgirl is.
So Commissioner Gordon is a bad cop. He is a dirty cop. He is a dirty commissioner.
not a
I'm going
dirty
on
cop.
record.
He fought the dirty
Commissioner
cops. He fought
Commissioner
the dirty
Gordon
cops.
is a dirty cop because he's aligned with a vigilante. So he's garbage. Hence, he's inconsequential.
Is he more of a dirty cop than all of the cops that were dirty in the Gotham PD, joining all the different gangs that are associated with Gotham?
No, I don't go that far into it.
Yeah, well, I just did. Commissioner Mary says Gordon is almost like a father figure to Batman.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not. I love you, Mary.
That's more Alfred.
That's Alfred. That's all
Yeah.
Alfred. Don't take Alfred's job away from him.
Yeah.
No, Alfred. I love Alfred.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they made Alfred into what's his face to that one movie. Was it
Michael Caine?
No. I forgot who it was.
What are you talking about?
Who played him? Oh
In
my
which
God.
one?
I forgot what. I see. That's the thing. I don't remember.
Oh.
Anyway, Lisa, Gordon is absolutely important and not a dirty cop. He is a dirty cop. Dirty, I tell you. Dirty.
Commissioner Gordon. Look, Batman has a close knit circle of people that he relies on to help him. It's Alfred.
Yeah.
It's Robin.
Okay.
It's Batgirl. We say Nightwing.
Batgirl is not. No.
And Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon is the A1 since day one.
When you think about Batman and his ride or die, it's Robin. It's
And
not
Commissioner Gordon.
It is not Commissioner
Every
Gordon.
single time the
Gordon
bat
sucks on the
when
bat
the bats,
seat when he's having a trouble, and he puts up this little bat
when the bat
signal.
signal-
Come here, Mr. Bat. Come help me. Come shave me, because he's inconsequential. He can't even handle his own goddamn
When the
police.
bat signal-
That's why the police are sitting and going and working at all the other crime
Well,
units.
when he's got a bunch,
Sucks.
when he's got corrupt cops under him, who else is he going to turn to? He's going to turn to the world's greatest detective and the person that Gotham needs most to help keep them safe. He's obviously going to turn to Batman. He's going to use all the information that he has to help Batman do his job. There's a reason that if Batman didn't need Commissioner Gordon,
Okay.
Batman wouldn't use Commissioner Gordon.
Sandra says Alfred is the father figure. Gordon is like an uncle who is Batman's confidant.
Exactly.
Okay.
When Batman needs something, Batman goes. Like I said, Batman is the world's greatest detective. If Commissioner Gordon was inconsequential to the story, Batman wouldn't go to Commissioner Gordon.
Okay, but he goes to Commissioner Gordon because Commissioner Gordon puts up his little bat signal and says, "Help me, Mr. Bat."
Because
Help me.
Batman sees value in being buddy with the commissioner of the police.
Does Commissioner Gordon knows who he is? Does he know his true identity?
I'm sure there's a storyline where he does know Batman's true identity, but I don't believe he does.
I can't remember if he knows.
I don't believe he does. If you guys want to fact check us, feel free to hop in the chat. But I don't believe that he does. But I'm saying,
hold on a second. Hold on. Does Batgirl know his identity?
No, whose identity?
Batman's.
I believe so.
I believe so. Does Alfred know his identity?
Do Batman's identity? Yeah.
How about Robin?
Robin does, obviously. Yeah.
Well, those who don't know his identity don't matter. They're inconsequential.
That doesn't mean anything. Why does he have
Inconsequential!
Why does Commissioner Gordon have to know Batman is Bruce Wayne to be consequential?
Because if he really trusted him and really needed him and really gave a damn about him, then he would know his alter ego.
Absolutely not. Because
Yes, he would.
No, because why would Batman tell anybody who his true identity is? Because it puts them in a lot more danger.
Herb, I understand without Gordon there would be no Batgirl, but nobody cares about Batgirl. I'm not talking about Batgirl here. But if Batgirl knows that what his real identity is, but Commissioner Gordon doesn't know, there's a big issue there. Batgirl is consequential, but Commissioner Gordon is not. I think in a storyline he does, Sandra says.
I was going to say, I believe there's a storyline where Commissioner Gordon does know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. But like I said,
I want to know.
Commissioner Gordon becomes consequential because if he wasn't consequential, Bruce Wayne or Batman would not use him to help solve these crimes and help take down these bad guys. That's why he is an integral piece of Batman being the protector of Gotham.
Listen, I'm at the end of
Batman
the day,
does everything for a reason. World's greatest detective. He does everything. Everything he does is to a point, and it's to justify the means. It's to solve a problem. And Commissioner Gordon is an integral piece to solving those problems.
Herb says, yes, in some stories Gordon does know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to concede, and the reason why I'm going to concede is because I do like Commissioner Gordon. I'm just screwing with everybody, because I had to play the bad guy on that round. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, hold on, Mary, Batman is able to do things that the police can't, so if there's something to be done in that was Gordon and police can't, so it's a symbiotic relationship. Her Batgirl is important because if she wasn't Gordon's daughter, she wouldn't be Batgirl. It's his connection to Batman that drives her to become Batgirl. Again, I don't know. I don't know about all that. If we were going based on movies
I'm doing
solely,
this, and I'm also
you're going into comic books. So if we're on the comic book side, sure. If we were going movies, which essentially we were doing because it's JK Simmons that we were utilizing, we purposely weren't using the animated or the comic book characters. We did the JK Simmons character on both.
Okay,
ends.
well, because I was thinking of it because I also was thinking of it from a specific commissioner. Like, yes, it's hilarious that J.K. Simmons has played both of these characters we're going to be debating today. But I was also looking at it from a specific point of just Commissioner Gordon as a character rather than just the J.K. Simmons specific role. Mostly because I hated the Justice League movie. You know, that movie sucked. That's where I was at, and I also would just like to say that I'm. It's also my argument bases off of because we're gonna have to have the conversation of who's more consequential than the other. I'm kind of tipping my hand as to where I'm going with that conversation at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, but
so,
you're going to be completely wrong.
I'm not going to be wrong. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to be wrong.
Well, we're gonna go there. Let's do this. I'm gonna go with the consequential side with Gordon.
Yeah, I think he's definitely consequential.
Because again, it's tipping the line for me, and for both the characters, it's tipping the line. I think that he is consequential, but I also think that he's not consequential. If you took him out of the story, it wouldn't make a difference.
But Batman wouldn't have the relationship with the Gotham PD as he does without Commissioner Gordon.
That's not true because some of the police that are in the Gotham PD have worked.
But he's the commissioner of the police. But he's literally the commissioner of the police.
Like
he's the guy that he's the boss of the police.
So what happens if he's gone? What happens if he dies? Does he still have that relationship?
If he dies,
yeah,
he might not have the same relationship with the police that he does as Commissioner Gordon.
Okay. You
You
know?
know,
But if he dies
again, if
you know what I mean?
Commissioner Gordon wasn't important,
I don't think
Commissioner
anything changes.
if Commissioner Gordon wasn't important to the story, Batman wouldn't use him. Batman wouldn't have him as his confidant. He wouldn't have him as close to him as he actually does.
Fair enough. Like I said, I'm going to concede on this one simply because it's Commissioner Gordon and I'm okay with that. What do you call it? But we want to move along to J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Triple J, him right there. He is the game, the original game. All right. J. Jonah Jameson is the reason why Spider-Man is actually famous, and he is who he is in the Spider-Man universe, because J. Jonah Jameson is the antagonist. He's the one who sits there and makes sure that everybody knows who he is, even though he doesn't like him. All right, he's going at him and he's causing everybody to read headlines. That's why Spider-Man is so popular, and that's why Spider-Man becomes such a big deal.
I don't think so. Well, I don't necessarily think
wasn't in the Avengers
I don't
right
think
away.
Spider-Man needs J. Jonah Jameson to be popular because he's a Spider-Man. He's a superhero going around saving everybody. I don't necessarily think you need J. Jonah. You just proved my point.
Not everybody knows. First of all, not everybody knows who you are as soon as you come out. You need that publicity. J. Jonah Jameson is the one who runs the newspaper. He's the reason.
Isn't he also trying to? But he does try to paint a really bad light on Spider-Man as a whole. Because he's.
You need that main antagonist.
But he's not the main antagonist.
Who
the
is?
main antagonist of Spider-Man is all of his various villains. I mean, it would be
There come and goes. He's the consistent throughout all of history.
Yeah, but he's not really that important of an antagonist because it's not like he's tearing down Spider-Man in any way. Like, yeah, he says all these bad things about Spider-Man, but it's a joke because nobody cares because Spider-Man's out saving the world regularly.
Hold on 1 second. And he's his boss. So Peter Parker works for J. Jonah Jameson. And that is the reason why Peter Parker has all the inside information.
Aren't we doing the JK Simmons one?
It's the same difference.
No, it's not. Oh
yes.
Well, I guess
Peter Parker.
I forgot he plays. Doesn't he do? He does J. Jonah Jameson in the Tom Holland one and the.
He does it in both of them, I believe.
In both of them, I believe. Right?
And Peter Parker works for the
not Tom Holland.
The Daily Bugle.
Not Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I don't.
He does it. He's still a kid. He's still in school with the Tom.
But I'm sure eventually they will.
Spider-Man.
But they've already told that story multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. They have told that story.
And J. Jonah Jameson's been in, a million freaking things.
I just don't think the thing is when I think of Spider-Man, I immediately think of Spider-Man. I think of Green Goblin. I think of Venom. I think of Carnage. But I don't think of J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah, I remember him because he's the guy that just hates Spider-Man and yells how much he thinks Spider-Man is a menace. But, I just think of him more as, old man yells at cloud. I don't take him very seriously because he's not a Spider-Man villain. He's just a guy that he just doesn't like Spider-Man. Like I don't really see his major importance. Like
he's headlines and he's the boss. He's the reason why Peter Parker knows everything that's going on. He's going out on all these jobs, and then rather than him going out and taking the pictures first, he's going there taking care of the villains and taking pictures while he's handling the villains. He always has that little thing set up. It's like it's kind of like a Superman type of thing where, Clark Kent works at the Daily Planet and what do you call it? And he sets up a camera or whatever, and he gets the photos while and the scoop on the story. You know what I mean? But he's also fighting all the villains. Spider-Man is fighting all the villains, and he's taking pictures, with the automatic camera.
Yeah.
Every time, and then so without he doesn't have any kind of super sense to know when things are happening. He has the spidey sense when it's happening around himself.
Hold on, let me just
we got a lot of comments.
Gotta catch up on some of the comments. Let's see. Bad or is better than no or wait, what is that? Okay, so I'm gonna move that down. Lisa says ultimate foil for both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Triple J is so consequential. They brought him back for the MCU Spider-Man. That's from our intern Andrew. Now I will agree that they did bring him back, but they didn't bring him back until way later at the end of the second Spider-Man movie.
And so consequential because he was
in the last 2 seconds.
But he's the one that blows up the spot of poor Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's the one. He's the consistent in all the years that he's the one that Peter Parker really has to deal with. That the entire time, he's the main villain.
He's not the main. I don't think he's the main villain of Spider-Man.
Or he's the main antagonist.
Because he's not. Because I don't think he does enough to be deemed a villain in the franchise. He's just a guy with an obsession for taking down Spider-Man.
JJ also gave Peter Parker his job, which he needed to be grounded to readers, watchers as a superhero, and has real life issues. Yep. Unlike Batman. JJ is very important to how Spider-Man deals with how he thinks about his actions. Sandra says Jameson was able to give insight to Spider-Man unknowingly, but still it provided him info. See? Mary, Peter Parker can get info from anyone, not just Triple J.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if J. Jonah Jameson was really all that important, don't you think that he would be a bigger mainstay within the MCU?
Mary is mad at me because I went after her in the last segment.
Which would qualify him as a villain? He had an obsession on taking him down. Yes, but he didn't like.
Sandra's on my side right now. Yeah.
But I again, in the grand scheme of things, in the big spectrum of all the Spider-Man villains, I would put J. Jonah Jameson at the very bottom because again, he's just some guy that's obsessed with hating Spider-Man. Like,
and
he
doesn't make him a villain?
Do anything? No,
that doesn't make him a villain.
I don't think so.
Joker is so obsessed with Batman.
Yeah, but Joker actually kills people.
Okay, and J. Jonah Jameson kills people in writing with headlines. The media is a wicked thing, Greer.
That's true. They have. Let's
think of the Tiger King. Who's the and how they made villains out of these people. You know what I'm saying? So the media, technically.
But I don't necessarily think you need J. Jonah Jameson to tell the story of Spider-Man. I think you have.
You don't need Commissioner Gordon to tell the story of Batman.
But Commissioner Gordon is integral to the story.
You're reaching, Greer.
Because he helps Batman.
You're fighting yourself, Greer. It's the same deal. J. Jonah Jameson is just as important as Commissioner Gordon is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm telling
you.
There's
no way, though.
No way. I love my Brim. Thank you, Mary. We love you, too. Even at the bottom, he was there. He's always been there. J. Jonah Jameson since day one. The A1 since day one. He was there. He was there the whole time. And he's always been against Spider-Man. Always. He is the main villain in Spider-Man. Doesn't matter what other villains pop up. Yes, he's got arch enemies. Arch enemies, yes, there are enemies. But the number one true villain, if you want to consider him a villain, and I think you probably should, is J. Jonah Jameson. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And I'm pretty sure, was it J. Jonah Jameson's son that became one of his arch enemies also?
No, that was, no, it was Oscorp. That's the guy that becomes the Green Goblin. I can't remember his name. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Oswald.
Yeah, no.
Osborn.
It's Osborn. Yeah, no, but it's not J. Jonah Jameson's kid that becomes one of his main villains. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm looking at it more from the MCU Spider-Man, where J. Jonah Jameson was just kind of thrown in at the end of a Spider-Man movie where he wasn't really a big mainstay. I understand. I know obviously who he is and his importance to Spider-Man. I will admit that he is important to the story. Again, I'm coming at it from a who's more important than the other situation, and I'm going to argue that J. Jonah Jameson is definitely not as important as Commissioner Gordon to the to how these superheroes,
Okay, so hold on, J. Jonah Jameson, and if I might be mistaken, but I'm like double checking here, and I could be wrong, but I think J. Jonah Jameson is tied to the symbiotes at some point. And I think his son might have held Venom for a bit. I don't know for sure. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that he is.
That I don't know.
Somewhere. Spider-Man Cold War James and Carnage was after. Oh, so Carnage was after Norman Osborn. I'm just looking. I'm looking quickly and trying to get some answers.
But
so
we are coming
talking.
close. We are coming close to the end of the episode. So
I can't remember.
So do we have to have the conversation of who's more consequential than the other?
The fact is they're equal. I mean, his son was an astronaut.
You can't have it.
It was Man-Wolf, maybe. Why is Triple J so obsessed with Spider-Man? Because he's the villain. Is someone more consequential because they are a positive force or a negative force? That's true. I guess it's equally consequential.
But I can't. But I don't know. I would still argue that Commissioner Gordon is one of Batman's biggest resources in keeping Gotham safe and doing his job. I don't necessarily think Spider-Man needs J. Jonah Jameson to do his job and continue to save.
But he
people.
Does.
But why does he need him, though?
Why does he need him? Because that's how he finds out where all the problems are and what's happening. It's not like they have like this superhero call, hey, guess what, man? You know what I mean? This is going down in, such and such a street. No, he finds out because they're getting tips to the newspaper. When they get the tips to the newspaper, that's when he goes and jumps into action. That's it. He needs it. That's the way he handles the crime.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's not in every single iteration of the story. I mean, again, that's not how. That's not how. Again, I guess I'm basing it more off of the current run of the MCU. That's not how Spider-Man handles his business.
Yeah, Spider-Man's been around a lot
that's
longer
very true.
than that.
That's very
he
true.
He goes all the way back to the electric company and stuff like that.
You're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Let's see. He's Spider-Man's evil Gordon. Mary says a police scanner would do the same.
That's true.
Okay, but a tipster would do the same thing as Commissioner Gordon.
That's not true though.
That
because
is so true.
Because Commissioner Gordon is literally the commissioner of the police,
and that means absolute diddly squat.
What do you mean that means absolute
nothing?
Squad? He runs the police. Running the police is definitely different than a tipster just saying, "Hey, this happened."
Let me ask you a question. Do you know who the commissioner is on Long Island?
I'm not Batman. I don't need the commissioner on Long Island.
No, because they're inconsequential. It's the people that are out there day in, day out that are fighting crime as police officers, as firefighters, and so forth. They're the ones that are consequential. The one who tells them what to do is inconsequential.
That's not true because
he oversees them. That's all he does. It's his job.
Commissioner Gordon runs the entire Gotham Police Department and is one of the people that has all the information to give back to Batman.
Fair enough. Okay, so here, so if we have to, we're coming towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
We have to debate on who is more consequential, Triple J or Commissioner Gordon. I'm going to say Triple J is more consequential because he's the one, and again, he is the main antagonist throughout his Spider-Man's entire being. His entire being. You know what I mean? Where what do you call it? Where Commissioner Gordon, he's there. He might help here and there, but he is not. He's not doing anything. That bless you. He's not doing anything that's gonna hurt him. He's not doing anything that is going to necessarily help him because Batman is the greatest detective. He's kind of just there and involved. You know what I mean? That's it. Let's see, Sandra. They had fact checking and stooping reporters that broke stories that cops didn't look into. That's true. That very true. I like where you're going with this, Sandra. I like it. And that's why, listen, this is why it's so important that you guys are all hanging out with us in these shows. Because, obviously we can sit and, agree or disagree or whatever and battle it out. But it really helps when everybody else gives their point of view as well. So what do you guys think? because Greer and I are going to come to a standstill on this one.
Yeah.
So who do you guys think? Let's get some voting down below. Who do you think is more consequential?
Gordon's police force was very corrupt and could mess up a lot of Batman's vigilante work. That's very true, and that's why you need Commissioner Gordon to dispel all the corruption.
But he didn't. How does he dispel it? If he was such a good commissioner, there wouldn't be so much grubbiness going on.
That's a fair point.
I mean, there are a lot of bad cops. You know what I mean? Like it's just. If you're the commissioner, you need to know.
I just don't look
right,
again.
I
don't know. I just never really put that much stake into Jonah Jameson.
One for Triple J. One for Triple J. All right, who's gonna save Gordon? We've got one for Triple J. Let's see who else. We got some more. I know you people are in here, so start writing down below. Let us know, who do you think is more? Who's more consequential? And they're all like sitting there going,
I'm gonna say JJ is even though Gordon was important, JJ helped mold Spider-Man.
2 for JJ.
That's 2 for Triple J is more consequential. Thank you, Lisa. I very much appreciate that. Everybody keep joining in the conversations. Gordon, gonna go Gordon. Mary, you're the best.
2-1. 2-1.
I mean, I guess we are at the very end of the show, so it's a 2-1 split. Gordon inconsequential. Jonah Jameson.
Sandra, I saw you. I know you're in here. What do you say? What say you? Do you say Triple J or do you say Gordon? Who's more consequential for you?
Triple J, because I felt like it pushed Spider-Man. Okay, so Jonah Jameson gets deemed consequential, and Commissioner Gordon is inconsequential.
Well, sorry, he's still consequential. We're gonna keep him consequential.
No. Well,
he's just less consequential.
No, we can't do that. You gotta have a we can't. No, we don't sit on the fence here. We have a consequential and we have an inconsequential. I can admit when I'm wrong. Inconsequential, even though I don't agree. Inconsequential. Commissioner Gordon. Jonah Jameson gets deemed consequential. And that's that. I'm okay with it.
I'm sorry. Every so often I win and I'm happy.
No, hey, it goes back. It's a back and forth tennis match.
It was a back and forth tennis match.
That's how it happens. Again, and to be fair, I never really understood. I never understood the huge importance of Jonah Jameson, because I just thought of him as a newspaper editor. I never thought that he was actually all that important to the Spider-Man franchise. Huge. Because I just cared more about Peter Parker and Spider-Man rather than who his employer was at the time.
True, but throughout his whole career. Sorry, Greer, but Brim made a point.
He
Thank
does.
You,
he makes a good point from
it.
time to time. I can admit that.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
But
you're not right 100% of the time.
My stuff works sometimes. You know what I mean? That's it is. Yeah. No, what is it? My it always works sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so listen, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging with Greer and I. What do you call it? I know I'm going to be hearing about this for the rest of the day. Actually, he has an interview in 20 minutes, so that's a positive. He'll be busy, so I don't have to take it. But thank you so much for tuning in, as always, to Truly Inconsequential. As Greer always says,
rate, review, subscribe, share all these lives, share all these videos, like all the videos, comment on all the videos. All the interaction helps more people see what we're doing and gets more people involved and more people in the chat. So, guys, please, all your interaction helps. Also, go to the Grindhouse Radio website, check out our store, and you can get some more merch that looks like this.
Yes, and also make sure you check us out, the Grindhouse Radio, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our amazing guest, Jess Harnell, Wacko Warner from the Animaniacs, the lead singer, the front man of Pop Sugar. Listen, you guys are going to absolutely love it. Double segment, and we will see you next week.